Hey everybody. Well, this one's going to be called the resource-based economy versus the free market, which was basically, I hate that word, basically, a debate between Stefan and Peter Joseph Murillo. Peter Joseph Murillo, as the great Jordan Maxwell calls Peter Joseph. That's inside baseball information. If you want to look it up, that's fine. I've spoken personally to Mr. Maxwell. When you call him, you better be ready. That's all I can say. Well, let's get down to cases. The resource-based economy and the free market both have great arguments for both of them. And both of them exist on the planet today. Neither one of them are hypothetical. Hypercritical, as this criminal said on one of those cop shows I saw once. He said hypercritically. He meant hypothetically. That was NYPD Blue, the old one. If you're old, you'll know that one. If you'll notice, these are my work glasses. These have bifocals. Those black glasses I wear don't have bifocals. So anyway, let's get down to business. The resource-based economy is already in place. The free market economy is already in place. It just depends on what country you're talking about. Let's start with the resource-based economy. If you look on ExxonMobil's website, or you get an ExxonMobil's annual report, or Texaco's annual report, or Shell's report, they will tell you how much oil there is in the world and where they're going to dig for the next 30 years. They will give you a 30-year plan. And somewhere, somebody knows exactly how much oil there is in the world. They look at it. Now, the Russians, who don't believe in the dinosaur theory of oil, they will have a different data. They believe that the oil comes from the shifts of the earth. I think they have a different theory, and they drill their oil differently, and they would have a different analysis of that. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're right or wrong. They are counting a resource. And the same would go for the lumber companies. The same would go for the fish companies. The same would go for every company. They all know. And somewhere, there's a bureaucrat somewhere that has keeping track of all that and is getting it all. If you know anything about Mr. Greenspan, he tried to keep up with everything. He tried very hard. I mean, this is kind of weird. Here's this guy who was an acolyte of Ayn Rand, who actually hung around with her. You know, I don't even know, they might have made out. I don't know. I mean, that was a long time ago. She was, she definitely liked guys. And he was a guy. He was really smart. But an acolyte of Ayn Rand doing a resource-based economy kind of move, keeping track of the whole economy and trying to predict. So, politics makes strange bedfellows. The Federal Reserve keeps really accurate data of everything. And they're a quasi-business, quasi-government. I don't know. I hear that debate. I don't care what they are. To me, they're a government. But anyway, I don't really want to get that debate. So what I'm saying simply is the corporatocracy is a resource-based economy. And it does exist. Now, the problem with it is, I don't know if they're doing it for the benefit of mankind. I think they're doing it for somebody else's benefit. But hey, I'm doing pretty good. I'm sitting around in a very nice room in South Dakota, making nice money. My life is fine. So these people are taking pretty good care of me. Now, the free market. The free market does exist. The free market exists in Hong Kong, Shanghai, all those places to a certain degree. The free market exists in the United States to a great degree. People can start businesses. People can make money. People can get rich. We have a lot of free market mechanisms. A lot of it. Now, they're also, the police don't come in and, you know, after you make a lot of money, no cop, no thug comes in and tries to take your business away from you by force. We're protected. So the free market capitalism does exist to a large degree, and it does work. Okay? It does work. My problem with it is, and as I said in my last video, the free market is just like nature. It doesn't care about an individual. The free market does not care whether you starve to death. Why should it? You know, Tony Danes is just a collection of genes, right? So I got genes from my mother and genes from my father, which come from all over the place. My genes from my mother came mostly from Northern Europe. My father has genes from Northern Europe and from Southern Europe. And I'm a mixture of all that. I'm not special. I'm not a snowflake. You know, like Brad Pitt said in Fight Club, you are not a snowflake. I'm not a snowflake. I'm nothing. I'm just a person, which really doesn't mean anything. You know, the free market doesn't care about me. The free market, the United States government cares about me for what taxes I can pay, for what work I can pay, and that's what they care about me for. Right? And their partners in the business community that pay for these elections, that have something to do with it, they care about me for what I can earn. So that's resource-based, that's resource-based, and that's free market. But as I said before, the free market does not care if we all starve to death. And I think what the real debate is, what the human population is. That's the real limiting factor. When we have a population of 7 billion and we have a population getting bigger and bigger and bigger, I think we're going to have to go more to a resource-based type of economy. Because I've read in Business Insider that they're fishing the oceans bare. I don't know that. I haven't been out to the oceans. They tell me that there's a waste dump in the middle of the ocean the size of a big state. Somebody said Texas. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen all those plastic bags out there in the middle of the ocean. It's a little disgusting, and I don't think it's necessary. A lot of real smart people will say that a system creates its own demise. I don't know about that either. I am just talking today about two hypothetical concepts of a free market and a resource-based economy, and I submit that we have both on the planet today, and we have lots of cases thereof. I would prefer a resource-based economy. I don't think the government gets enough credit. As Michael Parenti says, a radical kind of leftist college professor who's very bright, very cares about people, he explains that the Social Security sends out checks for a 1% fee. That's how much it costs them. They send out checks to 40 million old people for 1%. The U.S. military is a very efficient organization. They, back when Patton defeated the Germans, I'm sure his cost and Eisenhower's cost were very much in line. I'm not familiar with that. I haven't read that portion of history, but they did a hell of a job. That was a function of government. All right? So the Soviet Union brought people up out of mass poverty to a fairly high standard of living in about 30 years, where it took 100 years in the United States to bring everybody up to that level. I'm not saying that communism is better. I don't like communism. I don't like people telling me what to do. I'm just talking about feeding people and putting butts in the seats, as they say in the world of professional wrestling. They put butts in the seats. So here's all I'm saying is both of them have validity. I prefer the resource-based. I think with the information systems that we have and where we are now, I think we can do it. And I think it's already here. I think the global village is here. As Marshall McLuhan said, the global village is here, with all the trappings of that, including the tribalism, including the problems, and it's not going away. And when I die, there'll still be a global village. And then when my kids are ready to go, that'll be a global village, which would be, 70 years from now. Nothing's going to change. Okay. That's all I got to say today. Bye-bye.